Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? I'm your big brother Griggs. It's over the Hump Wednesday. All right? Going to get right into it. We talked about 90 days to a new you. That's right, 90 days. We came to give you results, so we ain't got time to waste. This week, we're specifically going to deal with desire. This is a 3-part series that is entitled Locked Up But Not Locked Out. All right? And you're like, Griggs, what does that mean? Everything in you, you have deep reservoirs of potential. You have deep-seated ability within you that would allow you to achieve everything that you have set out to do. The reason why you have not done that yet is because you have not unlocked, you have not given birth to that potential. That desire that I asked you to find last week, I'm glad a lot of you have found it. But the only way to get from where you are across that big chasm to your dream, to everything that you wanted. And when I say your dream, don't think about this lofty goal that most people can't achieve. For some of us, our dreams are all different. My clients range from your everyday athlete or working person, somebody trying to get by from paycheck to paycheck, all the way up to professionals, lawyers, accountants, people of that nature that you would think their life is a little bit more stable. But even those types, the ones that even seem like they have it all together, have something inside that burns within them. I'm constantly told, Griggs, there's so much more in me than what I'm doing. I'm only doing what I'm doing because of the ideal that this is what I was supposed to do from young. But deep down inside, I've always been a musician. Deep down inside, I've always been a daycare owner. Deep down inside, I always just wanted to go out and play a recreational sport and compete. It blew my mind. It blew my mind when I spoke with a young lady. We were having a great conversation. She had never, ever in her life competed in any level of sport, any competitive game, anything. And she spoke to me about how severely it felt like it handicapped her. And she had this desire that she wanted to go in and do something that would allow her to compete, but she was fearful. She wouldn't even go and do any type of extreme sport for fear that people would laugh at her. Now notice that key word that I keep using is fear. Last season we talked about fear of this or fear of that. When I say locked up but not locked out, don't be surprised, because when you are inside of fear, or when you are not able to go from where you are to where you want to be, you are caged in. You are absolutely, positively locked up. But don't be afraid. I told you before, we got the key and we going in. All right? So you got your new notebook. Let's crack that thing open. All right? Number one, the first thing that I need you to do is focus on the moment. Focus on the moment. F.O.T.M. You know I love the acronyms. Focus on the moment. The only thing that took me from being locked up inside of myself, trapped inside of everything that I thought that I was supposed to be, everything that I thought was my life, was because I decided that I was going to look deep down within myself and do some real live soul searching. I was going to find what was in me that I wanted to do. What was in me that made me feel like I was supposed to own a business, but I had no idea what that business was supposed to be. Had I never taken that time out, had I never focused on that moment of feeling, had I never focused on that, it would have never taken me from where I was, locked up, to where you see me today. Your inspirator, your motivator, your life coach, your big brother Griggs. That's right. I would never be here today had I never unlocked that potential. And that's what we're doing here with you. So I need you to focus on the moment. All right? You're going into that job today. You're going to that activity today. And a lot of you have gotten very, very complacent. I can't tell you how many times I talk to the managers in the area that I manage, and everything that comes out of their mouth is negative. So pay very close attention, because number one, when you're focusing on the moment, you cannot afford to allow negativity, complacency, and fear to be a part of your makeup. If those three things, fear, complacency, and negativity, are all a part of your speech, then they are a part of your thoughts. And if they're a part of your thoughts, that's why you're getting negative results. That's why that place isn't getting any better. The job has not changed since you applied and thought this was the perfect place for you. What has changed is the words that you are taking into your mind that are forming your thinking, that are creating a vibration within you, that are creating feelings that lead to emotions. Emotions have to push you in one direction or the other. Get it? Emotions. Those vibrations turn into something that is going to move you to the left or move you to the right. Whether for the good or for the bad, you are going in a direction. Emotions obviously are going to lead you to actions. Actions then become habits. Your habits are now your character, or what people have come to expect from you. So if you're constantly negative, if you're constantly looking for the downside of things, if you're constantly finding a way that even inside of a compliment, you find a way to say something negative, you have got to look yourself in the mirror, and I need you to refocus yourself on this moment. You have an opportunity right now, today. Right now, you have the opportunity right now to change everything for your life. And for those of you that are not walking into a job, I'm still talking to you, because if you're going out and you're trying to forge a new pathway, you're going to run into some level of negativity. The people that surround you, you can't afford to have them be negative. If the people that are around me are telling me what I cannot do, then they can no longer be here. Why? Because the words that you are taking into your mind, again, form your thinking. Your thinking is what is going to get you to the next side of things. The moment your thinking goes from desire, when you take in those negative words, you take that thing you wanted from a desire, it goes back to a want. It's just something on the top of your brain, something that you told yourself. No different than when you read a book. If you've ever read a book, and in that moment, you think you understand this book to the T, that this is the most beautiful thing you've ever read. And then a month later, somebody asks you about that book you read, and you have no idea what they're talking about. That's because that book rested in your conscious mind. It resonated in your conscious mind. Once you no longer needed the material, it was no longer important to you. But those things, your desire, it doesn't rest in your conscious mind. It is in your unconscious. It is inside of your unconscious mind, meaning there is an emotional connection between you and that thing that you wanted to do. And if there is no connection, then it's not your desire. So I need you to rethink that. But there should be an emotional connection that causes you to react a certain kind of way without ever having to think about it. When I said I wanted to become a speaker and I wanted to motivate people, it was a passion and a zeal in me that never allowed me to do anything else that was going to be outside of what that was. So everywhere I went, I'm constantly motivating without trying. I'm constantly positive without trying, because I have now gotten those words within me, and my life is starting to reflect that. I know nothing else other than to tell you that it can happen, because it happened to me. It happened to me. So if it can happen to me, I'm no different and no more special than you are. Whatever it is that you want to do, you can and you will have it. But it starts with you focusing on the moments, being very deliberate about who you have around you and what events that you entertain, all the way down to what you watch on television, to what you are reading, to what it is that you are just generally in conversation about. Too often, you'll walk around and you will see people entertaining conversations, and the conversation is about absolutely nothing. More often than not, you will find that most people engage in absolutely mindless conversation. You have got to focus on the moment. Everything about you has to be deliberate. All right? And so number two, because what's going to happen is people are going to come to you and say, it really ain't that deep. It's not that deep. It can't be that serious. It's not that deep. It is that deep. This moment right here, you can't afford to take a break. This is your time. Put down whatever it is that you picked up, your cell phone, your tablet. It's not time. I need you to focus on the moment. I need you to live inside of this moment for as long as this moment lasts before this moment passes you by. Your desire will make it to where with some people you are absolutely, positively impalatable. But your desire wasn't for them, it's for you. And I'm going to ask you to focus on the moment. Remember, the words that you're listening to lead to the thoughts that you think. As a man thinketh, so will he be. Your thoughts today are shaping your tomorrow. I need you to be very intentional about your thoughts and about the words that you are investing inside of your mind. So as you think, those leads to your feelings. Your feelings now lead to your emotions. Your emotions drive you into action. Your actions then become your habits. And your habits later form your character. You see, when you have a feeling and those lead to emotion, it forces you to make a decision. And so that moment that those emotions get negative, you're trying to do something that nobody else has done. Nobody else has done this. But you will and you can do this. You can do this. If you turn this off right now, you can do this. You have to look yourself in the mirror today, and I need you to pour those words inside of yourself. I need you to surround yourself with people that will pour back into you. Focus on the moment. Your words lead to your feelings. Your feelings lead to your decision. Your feelings lead to your emotions. Your emotions force you to make a decision, which later lead to your actions. Your actions then become your habits. Your habit then becomes your character or your reality. So if you want to get to the other side, let your words that you are speaking, hearing, and thinking on line up with your end result. I need you to focus on the moment. This is your big brother Griggs. It's over to Hump Wednesday. I'll see you next week.